Hey traders, Jason here from Levitt Brothers. So in this video, I'm just going to offer some trading ideas. Okay, a few of these charts we're already in at Levitt Brothers. Most of them are pretty good ideas going forward. About a week and a half ago, I did a video that's posted here on YouTube where I talked about numerous positive divergences being in place and the likelihood that the market would bounce. We've gotten a nice bounce. We've gotten a lot of good trades off. I've said over and over, you need some mental flexibility to survive in this business. I still think the market's going to go down further, but that I'm certainly not going to stay short if the market's going to bounce a whole bunch and offer a bunch of trades to the long side. So again, going to offer just some trading ideas, nothing too heavy here, just some ideas that you can probably, I'm sure you can find a chart or two that you can grab onto and make a few bucks over the next week or two. All right, so first off, this is the S&P 500. So back, like a week or so ago, I put my target at 3,900. I just saw this bottoming pattern here. I saw it was taking place. 3,900 was a measured move. I'm now moving my target up to 4,000 because I see like a neckline here at 3,800, an approximate bottom of the channel here, just ignoring this one big gap down which took place. The approximate size of this pattern here from 3,600 to 3,800 measures up to 4,000. So I'm moving my target from 3,900 to 4,000. So even if you've missed the move up so far, we might only be, relative to, over here, we're probably only halfway there. Okay, so we definitely have some, I do think we have some more upside to go. You got a Fed meeting coming up. You got the election coming up. The vibe is a little bit better here. So I think we have, I definitely think there's more upside to go. So are we going to come back down to Tesla's? Probably. But who knows? We can go. We can easily go up into the 4,000s first. We can go up into the 4,000s and chop around in a range for weeks or a month or so before we go down. So don't dig your feet in and defend an opinion. Just read the charts as they unfold and be a little bit flexible. All right, so let's go look at some ideas here. All right, so here is AEO. Most of these are going to be categorized based on groups. So apparel stores, there's a lot of charts that are looking very good. You can see American Eagle falling wedge here. A little bit, the trend lines are starting to get a little bit squeezed. You can see it, good day last Friday, follow through yesterday, more follow through today. Stock's getting above its pattern, above many key moving averages. The stock should have more upside to go. Abercrombie and Fitch, the stock is on the list at Levitt Brothers. We had it as, it was holding up fairly well when the market was falling. This one was trading quietly in a range. So, the relative strength was improving, broke out, came back down, did some little backing and filling, and now it is starting to move up again. Today it's up 6% and trading at its highest level since back in August. So that one's in good shape. Next one up is Guess. We're not in this one, just posting it as an idea. It looks like a bottoming pattern here. We got resistance at 17 there, got close there, and like right now it's like right at 17. So kind of a sloppy bottoming pattern. I'm not going to chase it here. I don't like how chaotic the movement is, but if you get a rest here in between 16.5, 17, it quiets down, then I do think you can play a breakout there. Gap. So another one that's just kind of basing here. I mean, you can't, you could be negative about everything going on, but bottom line is like here we have a stock. It's towards the end of October, and this is the highest level since mid-August. Okay, so we're talking about a 2.5 month high. Okay, so I'd ask the question: you got all this volume down here, so you have an opinion that the market is weak and it's going to go down further. And yet there's like a total of like 100 million shares have traded, and they have voted collectively that the stock belongs at a 2.5 month high. So to me, you can have an opinion, that's fine, but don't let your opinion get in the way of the charts. Whether this is easily tradable or not is debatable, because you have a lot of overlapping candles here and a lot of like long tails on the candles, and you might come to the conclusion that it's too hard to trade. That's perfectly reasonable, but the chart is moving up right now. Ross Store tends to be one of the stronger retail stocks. So stock moved up here, falling wedge, broke out in the last couple days. Stock's doing very, very well. So this one's probably tradable. And then TJ Maxx, I call it TJ Maxx, but same old thing, TJX, whatever. So again, this stock is, for as weak as things are, the stock has broken out to a new high. So the stock's doing really well. I don't know if I would chase it here, but certainly if the market does well for a few more weeks, maybe you get a chance to maybe it'll do some backing and filling and get picked up by a key moving average here, and you can play another leg up. But certainly can't argue with the fact that the stock's at a multi-month high. All right, let's move on to another category. Bitcoin, I've said on Twitter numerous times that I've been really impressed with Bitcoin's ability to just hold up. A lot of people thought that if it broke support at like 20,000, that it was going to immediately drop to 10,000. It could still happen. But for the last couple weeks, it is just stuck at like 18,000, 19,000, 20. It's been like stuck in a range. So it has resisted falling. And now it seems like bottoming patterns are forming with the stocks, and they're moving up. You can see HUT here is up 16% today. Probably has a little bit more upside to go. Mara is another one that has held up very well. Let me back this one up a little bit. I'll just keep it there. So you can see the stock, decent support there, back down in the low 9s, getting squeezed by converging trend lines. Yes, rallies got sold, dips got bought, getting squeezed, energy building into the stock. But in the last 3 days, we got 3 consecutive solid up days. The stock is now trading at its highest level since early September, and we're like one more good day away from being at the highest level since mid-August. Is the stock going to run up like it has done in the past? I have no clue. Just bringing it to your attention that the stock is actually acting very well. I mean, even if you look down here, we have a heck of a lot more positive volume than negative volume. So not sure I would chase it, because the stock has gone from 10.5 to 14, basically 14.5 in just a couple of days. But you get a little backing and filling here, and then the stock starts up. You can buy that with a stop below the low. We'll get back to some Bitcoin stocks in a second, because I'm just going in order of these of my charts here. Pacific Biosciences, this is another one that's on the Levitt Brothers trading list. I see it as a bottoming pattern here. You can see, left side, kind of a bigger hump, smaller hump here, and then even smaller consolidation here above some key moving averages. Broke out last Friday, paused yesterday, and is now following through today. This one's doing well for us. Caesars. Okay, so consumers aren't dead yet. I mean, I know the stock dropped and was printing, a multi-month low just a few weeks ago. I should say a month ago. But as you can see, it bounced, put on a higher low, then a higher low, same highs up at 40. Stock's getting squeezed by converging trend lines there. Big up day Friday, breakout yesterday, follow through today. The stock's doing well. At a minimum, the stock should be able to get up to 44 and fill this thin area here. And then after that, I would say my next target, like measured move 34 to 40, would measure up to 46. So, I'm not expecting big, huge moves here, but it looks like we have some, we have decent playable moves that should last for a little bit longer. Bros. This is another one that's on the Levitt Brothers trading list. So obviously trended down here, had a really big up day right there to kind of bring the stock back to life. One big down day, but then the stock's been like slowly moving up, resistance here just above 34, and then it just in the last 3-4 days it broke out and is moving up. See resistance level here. This has been a key level in the past, 38, because you have support here, resistance here. So that would be my first target is 38. And then if the stock can, do a little bit of this where it kind of rests and digests its gains, then we can have another breakout and a move into the 40s. AEHR, this is a stock that's been on our list for a little bit. It was profiled back. It was profiled back in here at Levitt Brothers as a good trade, and as you can see, it big up day there, gave some back, but then follow through day there, and then it gapped up in his run-up. So this one's done really well for us. Of all the semiconductor stocks out there, this one is by far, has been by far the strongest one. AMD has been an extremely weak stock, but in the very near term, it looks pretty good. We have a little bit of a base forming, resistance at 60 there. It's breaking out today. Volume is on pace to be pretty good. So if the market does, if it actually moves up for a few more weeks here, I think we have a decent chance of probably going up to like 70 here. Okay. It's got to get above the orange line, which is a 21. That's been a pretty good dividing line. If you could pause the video, but you can see here, this entire downtrend took place underneath the orange line. This entire uptrend took place, including that, took place above the orange line. And then this entire downtrend took place below the orange line. So we got to get above the orange line over here, and then we should be free to actually trend up a little bit. Again, first target is going to be 70. MU, and I'm going to go through these a little bit quicker here. I don't want this to be a 20-minute video. A little bit of a basing pattern, converging trend lines, trying to get through 50, 56 here. Looks decent for a trade. NVIDIA, probably not going to chase it here, but I see a bottoming pattern forming. Okay, so we got a hump here, bigger hump here. If we get a little bit of a rest here, then I think we can probably break out and leg up. Clean Spark, this is a Bitcoin stock. So as you can see, match those lows at 275. Huge breakout today on big volume. We should definitely be able to add to the gains. Lyft, it's a stock that's on our late trading list. Resistance here at 14. So you can see the bottoming here. Boom, boom. Consolidate over here for a week and then break out today. Volume's on pace to be about average or so. Price action looks really good. I don't see this thing stopping until we get up to about 16. Riot's another Bitcoin stock. Hasn't done as well. This one was like a false breakdown. I initially had this as a short here, as you can see. And it still might be a good short, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stay short if the stock going to move up and the group's moving up. So, initially I had it as a short, but now I think it's a good long because it broke down, but it didn't follow through and it just kind of sat there. Converging trend lines, kind of build potential energy into it, and then we get a breakout to the upside. So, just got to read the charts. At first this looked like a short, but then as time went on, it looked like, it didn't look like a very good short, and then it looked like a good long. All right, let's get into some software names. So here's Shopify. Let me see if I can back this up a little. So here's Shopify, a one-time big winner now, and then turned into a giant loser. Little hump here. Now it's consolidating. It has consolidated the last week right under here. So if the market continues to do well, I can see this stock doing fairly well, getting up into the mid-30s. MQ is another software name. Kind of hectic. Lots of overlapping candles there. Not easy to trade. But I see converging trend lines here build some energy into the position. I can see it popping out to the upside. Microsoft, obviously a very big company and very important as far as the averages go. Left hump, middle. If we can get a little bit of a pullback here, I don't really like buying stocks that just run up so much in such a short period of time. I'd like it to do some backing and filling, move sideways for a little bit before it tries to break out again. But if this happens, if we get a little bit of a rest and then a follow through, most likely Apple, Google, the rest of them are going to follow along, and then that's going to help the entire market. So Microsoft's setting up nicely. Palantir, profiled this one before, and it's mostly been frustrating. But if we back up here, we got a decent pattern going back for an entire month. Broke out today. It looks like the 850 level is also kind of important here. So got a decent base here going back 2 months, and I think market does well. I think there are decent odds we can at least get up to 9.5, and if things go, if things continue to do well, 10 is not out of the question. A couple more here. Square, a little bit of a basing pattern, nothing special here. I'm just noting, resistance here at about 60. This is the kind of stock where you're in and out within a week, you don't have any wild illusions that the stock's going to run up and give you a big gain. It's just it's got a little bit of a base. You got some volume over here. If it could break out, it could probably go 10 points from 60 to 70. Chewy. It's another stock, another Levitt Brothers stock, broke out. Big up day on Friday, broke out yesterday, followed through today. Stock's looking very good. X is another Levitt Brothers chart. So stock's been basing for about 3 or 4 weeks there. Broke out on Friday, pause yesterday. Today gapped down and is trying to recover. As long as too much damage isn't done, as long as these the 21-day moving average here holds, I think there are decent odds the stock can move up into further into the 20s. And PCG, this is another Levitt Brothers name. Not many charts could say they're doing this well. Not many charts. The market moved up in August and then has been mostly down since then until just recently. And you can see what this stock did. This stock initially went down with the market for about a week, and then it started going up. So this one's done really well. All right, so that's all I have for you. Hope you can grab a chart or two from these ideas. Again, S&P, I initially had my target at 3,900. Now I have it at 4,000. I do think this move has legs here. I think things got pinned way to the downside for a really long time, and I think bear market rallies could easily go 10-15%. Even when the market's in really bad shape, bear market rallies could go pretty far. So take advantage of it, but maintain some mental flexibility because you never know when it's going to end. All right, see you next time.